I'm Claire. I have responsible for an organisation called Everything is Possible. Then recently, maybe 3 years ago, we set up the sort of smaller organisation under the umbrella of Everything's Possible on Aruba called Turcosta Possible. So maybe we keep that for the next project?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
With this, full white
Yeah,
first, then paint the wing.
yeah. So do you know the first day, because there's not so much clearing to do. I mean, the guys, if they've got some equipment, can clear this a little bit, but the guys who are sport and don't have skill in design, maybe, would they do the white for you so the walls? Everything's Possible in the UK has been running now for 25 years, and we saw a need in Aruba that we felt would really fit well in our group of organisations. So we have organisations now in Aruba, Italy, the UK, and we're setting up a department in Spain as well. So they're all non-profit organisations with the name Everything's Possible, but in the native language. 7 years ago, we started working on Aruba just as a partner country. So like we have all around the world, we've got partners internationally that we send young people to as volunteers, and we host volunteers from in the UK. Then we got to a stage where for some reason the UK wanted to leave Europe. Obviously we were not part of that, we wanted to remain, but maybe 3 or 4 years ago we realised that we were going to have problems continuing the programmes that we were working in, but we had already a real synergy with lots of the partners we were working with. So we said, rather than stop working, let's look for a few countries where we see a strong synergy and we feel we could be really effective. So Aruba for us was the first one, and this is where we said, okay, this is where we want to be. We've been so welcomed into the country. We've had, everywhere we've gone, we've seen a need, but we've also seen open arms to say, yeah, come, we want you. What I'm going to do is I'll take my car back ticket, I'll get my car, bring my car down here. We're going to put the bags in my car and keep in the other car, okay? But this project was a team programme, so instead of working with individuals on this, we are hosting 15 people on Aruba, 5 of our own local Arubans and 10 people that flew in 2 weeks ago to be part of a programme where they could work across 3 areas of volunteering.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, let's go! We have bench to begin.
So what's really interesting about this project, it's the volunteers chose their area they were most interested in, so they could choose dance, sport or arts. But at the beginning of the programme, what we said, because we do quite a lot of preparation in advance, so we have Zoom preparation meetings, so they get to know each other before they actually meet, in this case at Amsterdam Airport, when they met at Schiphol and then flew on the final part of the flight together. But they already knew each other a little bit virtually. And because this programme is a solidarity programme, it was really important to us that even though they had the area of expertise and specialism and interest and where they were really interested to volunteer, we wanted them to work across all 3 areas because they're a team. We were involved with painting a mural in Rancho, and the teams came together to be involved with that.
Hello everyone, my name is Liani and today we are going to paint the wall. Yeah!
Putting the cardboards to cut the wings because we have to replicate it
Oh, you
on
have
the
to
other
replicate
side.
it.
Okay, so if you guys are okay, yeah, from that corner to the start of bow, and we can give a hand going around the outside of there. So we've been given responsibility for this, for clearing this alley. Yesterday the sports guys cleared all the rubble, the rubbish, the litter and everything, made it all safe, and today we're going to start painting the wall to do a mural on it, which the art students have designed and everybody's going to be working on together.
this work and why we started doing it is we've got a real heart for inclusion. So our soul is around inclusion, making opportunities possible for people who would think maybe it's not possible for them. So that's sometimes the people who are travelling to volunteer, and we're really targeting people that maybe not able to do a longer term project, so looking for people that 2 weeks is all they can commit to at this moment in their life. Maybe they've had obstacles, social barriers, but then on the other side of it, we want to work with people where we can make an impact in the community. So I don't know if you're interested to hear my little story about working in Rancho.
Yeah, I would love to hear that.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple of years ago, I think it was maybe even last year, we ran a youth project in Aruba, working with a group of young people from Aruba and a group of young people from the UK to do something called a youth exchange, where two groups come together, they exchange their interests, their cultures, and their in this case, it was around dance and sport. So there's different sports, different dance. Unfortunately, on the last day of the programme, we parked the minivan we had in Rancho, and it was broken into. The window was smashed, and a girl's bag and passport and phone was stolen. Then we had a mini car chase through Rancho, following the guy on the bike who'd stolen the bag. And at that moment, we thought, okay, we need to do something in Rancho, because clearly from the areas we went, we saw a lot of deprivation, we saw a lot of drug use, we saw people that were really in need. And this was one of the reasons why our heart for this project was to do an activity in Rancho. We had a day or 2 days where we were really immersed in the community. We worked with an organisation, a foundation, Rancho, Stitching Rancho, that's based in the heart of the community, and they introduced us to some of the people, some of the community.
You know, in the state of UK, you have like the King Street. It is a very, very important street. So you can imagine that this street also in the past, you will get people doing upholstery, people doing making clothes, people making shoes. So all that things start in the King Street.
So on this wall, we as a team made a really nice mural of wings, because it's very popular on Aruba to have wings where you can stand in front, the children can stand in front and be like a butterfly or an angel or whatever those wings represent for them. And all of our volunteers contributed to this mural. We put up the European flags and also the flag of Aruba, and it was great because we had lots of interest from the local public, from the people who live on that street. From, you know, we were really in the heart of a community that's quite deprived. And yeah, so it just the starting point for us was having this bad experience in Rancho, but saying, let's bring something back to that community, and let's try and integrate into the community, bring people who wouldn't normally be there. It's not a very touristy area, so it's not an area that the community would often be impacted by a lot of people from different countries, but because we've got a real spectrum of Europeans, we're 6 or 7 countries represented here, it was really nice that people were coming and asking, where's the group from, why are you here? We've got the flags of the European Union, we've got the European Solidarity Corps logo there, and also our logo, so hopefully people will question, like, why were we there, why were we doing this? So this project's 15 days, so during this 2-week project, we have a couple of days off because it's really important that people experience the culture. Of course, they have come from Slovenia and Croatia. It's really nice for them to see a beautiful Aruban beach, to see the murals in San Nicolas, to be immersed in the culture as well as contributing to it. Non-formal learning is a really strong pillar in our organisation, and everything we do is around non-formal learning, participative inclusion. It's also non-formal learning is also a really strong part of the European Solidarity Corps programme, which is what this programme has been funded through. A lot of young people we work with haven't succeeded well in education, maybe they haven't completed their education, or it's not been a great experience for them, and to engage people back in education is often quite difficult. But because our non-formal offer is often a little bit more covert, you're not necessarily feeling you're in a learning environment, And the way that we try and deliver our opportunities is our programmes, we try and punctuate small moments of learning into the activities that we're involved with. So we might have a moment of input, we might have a moment where participants work through, and we've got a booklet which is sort of a bit of a fun way to reflect. We look at people's learning journey, what do volunteers want to achieve through this programme. It's not a working holiday, it's not a trip, but it's an opportunity to be involved with giving to a local community, but there's also a huge benefit to the volunteers themselves. So in the 2 weeks that this project's going to occur, there's a real mix of activities. So what we try and do with our programmes is have a third of the time is cultural input, a third of the time is giving, and a third of the time is receiving. So the way we're going to achieve that in this programme is the 3 groups are split into their interest area. So they'll be working a lot of the time in dance, in art or in sport, and that's going to be working in local communities, different communities. So for example, the dancers will be teaching dance, they'll be learning dance, they'll be learning different dance styles from Aruba, but also from their peers. They will be doing some dance classes with children in schools, with small children, with teenagers, also with the elderly, because the idea is that the flash mob is is sort of a culmination of the dance activities, is going to have people from all ages. It's going to be the full spectrum across Aruba, and also our volunteers that are here. They're going to be doing some dance and circus activities in San Nicolas with small children on a community day that we deliver. But also going to be sharing their experience with young people that could then go on to do our programmes. So looking at people who are the right age to European Solidarity Corps project themselves, that might be interested themselves to leave Aruba and have this same experience outside of Aruba travelling. So I hope when people watch this video they'll be inspired. I hope local communities will see it and be inspired, young people on Aruba to go and volunteer themselves, but also we will continue to deliver these programmes until the funding dries up. Each year we're going to apply to the Dutch National Agency to continue to deliver these team projects, and we hope that people all over Europe will be interested and apply for these projects. But what we don't want you to see is just to look at the Caribbean and go, wow, Aruba, what a lovely holiday destination. What we want you to see is the impact that you can make on local communities here, that maybe that's a little bit different to the impact you could make if you travel from Spain and go volunteer in Germany. There's a lot of need on Aruba, but there's also some amazing experiences for you to have. There's some amazing people. A funny thing for me, before we set up an organisation here, when I was just travelling and visiting and bringing volunteers, was that the number plates on the cars, they say One Happy Island. So it made me smile that the government promotes this One Happy Island, and on an official number plate for a car this is what it says. But it really is happy, and there is need on the island. There's a lot of areas of deprivation, pockets of deprivation. It's a very expensive country to live in, and therefore if you're struggling already financially, it's really hard to get out of that situation that you're in. But people are happy, and it's a different experience. I think it's a very different way of life, and I think the cultural experience, okay, Aruba is part of Europe, so it is one of the Dutch Caribbean islands, but that forms part of Europe. So it's a programme that you can engage in, that you can choose to be part of. As I said, if you're in Germany, rather than go to Croatia, you have the option to come to Aruba. But don't just select Aruba because it seems like a dream. It's an amazing Caribbean island. You see people in videos drinking cocktails on the beach. Come here if you have a real heart for the people and you want to make a difference on Aruba.